Okay. Okay, so we are getting ready to do this little show. We're waiting on Brandy to finish getting her supper done. She's got some grandbabies tonight. But in the meantime, I wanted to come out here and show you this wind. My pool is already uncovered again. My husband just spent forever tying this thing down. And the wind is going crazy. It's going crazy. So you see that, Desto? I don't know what else to do about it. He's tied it down with blocks. And it's just going to get worse. The weather said like 40 to 50 mile per hour winds. And I saw one report earlier that said 60 miles per hour. So I don't know. We might blow away. We might blow away. Let's hope not, though. So, okay, let's see here if Brandy's here yet. There's sirens. There was a earthquake today, I reckon, in Gerard. I don't know how to say it. 3.2 earthquake in Jared County, Gerard County, and hold on. Okay, I'm coming in and getting settled. Let me get myself. Okay. Some weird sounds going on. I don't know what that is. But okay. So, good evening. Good evening. Hello, hello. The weather's crazy out there. Let's see here. Okay. Sorry, guys, I'm a little slow getting started tonight. I thought we were a little bit. I thought we would be ready by 6:05, but as usual, we're always a little bit late. But that'll be okay. We just have something that we want to share with you. We want to show you. I want to show you this show that I have been watching today. That I watched some of today. I've not watched the end of it yet. I wanted to wait and just watch the whole thing with you all because she does such a good job explaining like exactly how this 5G and 6G, the science behind it of how it's harming us. So as soon as Brandy jumps on here, hello, Christine, welcome. We will get started playing that, and hopefully we might have another guest this evening too if she has time. So okay, there we go. Message Brandy again. Said, "Are you coming? I'm panicking. I need somebody to talk back to me." Okay. What did Tricia said? It's 75 degrees and 50 mile per hour wind gusts here this evening. Yes.
Yeah, the warm weather is blowing my mind too. And ain't we supposed to get hit with like a big Arctic storm or something? Is that what is coming behind these heavy winds and stuff? The temperature is going to drop and bottom out, probably. I don't know. I hate this weather. Up and down and back and forth. Going crazy. The extreme weather. Going into the teens. Oh man. That's painfully cold. I have my electric blanket though, so I'll be ready. Give me some hot tea and an electric blanket and be good to go. My body hurts so bad though in the cold. The colder it is, the worse my body functions.
Yeah, baby, go ahead. He's got his headphones on. I don't know if he wants them or not. Kaden.
Uh-oh. That's good coffee. We've lost her. Here she comes. There she is.
And I don't know what the heck I'm doing right now. So.
Well,
oh my God.
I totally rage fright whenever I got on here and realized there wasn't nobody on here to talk to me. I said, oh God, I'm panicking. I got to message Brandy. I don't know what to say.
As you messaged, the microwave dinged. I thought, okay, I got this.
Sorry.
So,
I should have made it a little bit later, scheduled it a little bit later and gave us a little more leeway.
Well, I've got surprise.
We have a new viewer tonight.
New viewer?
Yeah.
Hi. Hello.
Yeah. Tricia said, hey, Brandy.
Hello.
So, we've been talking about weather manipulation and stuff on our conspiracy night. And the food manipulation, like how they're poisoning the foods, all the different things, all the different ways that they're poisoning us. And we are working on a deeper dive into the water and some of the other problems that are with the water that we've not covered yet. Like we just skimmed the surface. But that part isn't ready yet. So we wanted to go ahead and show you this though. And I want to, well, Brandy's not seen it yet.
I'm not saying.
So we're going to watch this together.
It's a little noisy here at my house tonight. My other grandbabies are here, so I'm excited. I've got some of my babies home, so I'm excited about it.
Bouncing in and out of frame now and then.
That's That's Teresa.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, here comes Caden.
Hi.
That's Caden.
All right.
That's Caleb and Savannah's kids. So,
yeah. Well, Merry Christmas, guys. I know I'm late with it, but Happy New Year too. I don't feel like time exists between Christmas and New Year's for me. Like it's all one. It's all one day to me in my head. That's how it feels. You know what I mean?
I get so depressed. Like it's like the end of Christmas. It's just like you have to drag yourself through the rest. Through the rest of everything. I think I don't know. So
I don't get depressed. I just get tired. Like this is my time to just sleep and rest and sit with a blanket over my head. You know what I mean? It's that I don't know, just moving with nature cycles, just like the rest of the world. Tuck in, rest.
Yeah,
Give into it. Give into it. like, and let it, you know.
Yeah.
Spring will be here soon. The first is here already upon us almost. So
I don't know. It just seems like this
I
year
have
has
a
moved by.
seasonal
It's just,
depression where if I don't get enough sunlight, like through the winter time, if I don't go outside and get fresh air and sunlight and put my feet on the ground anyway, I get depressed. But as long as I'm grounded and I go out there and I still, even if it's cold, even if it's snowing, put my feet on the ground for a minute, you know,
yeah.
soak it in. That sunlight is what cures depression, though.
Yeah.
For me, that's enough for me to snap out of it after just doing it for a couple of days. They say that the morning sun is the most powerful for treating depression.
Yeah. I said, I don't know. It's just, it's been an ordeal, you know, back and forth with emotions and everything. And I just thought it's been a mess. And, you know, where I had that seizure, it's like my brain resetting itself, trying
Yeah.
to again, you know.
Yeah.
And so it's been kind of like, I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
like it's been different.
Okay. Hi, Jody. All right. Do you want to jump in here with us? I sent you a link. Hi, Simi. All right. I'm going to put this up on the stage. Brandy, whenever you're ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Well, forget about 5G. Get ready for 6G network. Remember when?
Is it lagging on your end, Ty?
Effects on human beings. Well, let me read it for you. We the undersigned
I can't hear it, Ty.
5G until potential happen have been fully 5G will in and has been proven to be harmful for humans and the environment. Yeah, well, they blew right past that. They didn't give a hoot about it. They ignored the scientists. They rolled it out anyway. And now, without addressing one single of those concerns, they're preparing to unleash more.
She said it wasn't working.
I couldn't hear it. It was just in and out.
We deploy it right now, and why, once again, experts and scientists are sounding the alarm about its risks, from security, surveillance, national security, health board. They're criticizing. Just want to understand what 6G does and why this isn't Jade. Like on a tower, like upgrading a transformer.
Hello? It said my browser lost connection to my mic.
Oh gosh.
What does that even mean? Okay, I don't know. I don't know what that means, but let's try that again.
There should be some over there. In that drawer or on the counter there somewhere.
Threat to it. The very same way RNA vaccines and has been proven to be harmful for humans and the environment. Well, they blew right past that. They didn't give a hoot about it. They ignored the scientists.
It's skipping again.
Way. During legal of those far more experts and scientists are sounding the alarm about risks from surveillance to national security to human health, like across the board. They're criticized. Once what's this isn't like another upgrade, like some guy up on a tower, just like upgrade former. It will be transferred of human population, a threat to it. And their mRNA vaccines changed millions of lives. What is sixth generation of the cellular network technology, the thing that's supposed to replace 5G? Of course, that's the obvious part. But unlike previous upgrades, the jump to 5G
It's cutting out so bad.
It's like unimaginable data speeds, near zero latency. Now, I've spoken to sources who've worked for these companies, and they've told me their business plan is to basically eliminate your need for Wi-Fi in your home. Like, why would you pay to get Infinity in your home? You don't need to have a router in your home. That's the plan. I've seen the documents, and I've talked to the techs who are actually building the 5G and 6G. It will be
Typing around all over the
AI
place.
native, of course. So all of everything's AI. Right?
Was it working for end or what?
No, it's the connection.
Yeah,
I think it's the weather. I think it's where the wind's blowing. Like,
probably is.
here, I got a better idea. We don't have to watch. We can listen.
Okay, that works too.
Yeah. Hang on a second. Let me get to it. Come on.
5G and 6G. 6G will be AI native, of course.
Can you hear it?
So all of everything's AI, right? Artificial intelligence won't be just an add-on. It will be built into the network at every level. The system will make real-time decisions. It'll reroute traffic. It'll identify patterns. And by the way, it'll self-heal itself without a single human being even being involved in it.
Creepy.
Skynet, I guess, right? So
Fucking
this network
creepy.
becomes autonomous. So in other words, this is the first time in history that we are creating a communication system that actually thinks for itself and heals itself. So how does this 6G actually work? Well, let's break this down. 5G runs mostly on sub-G 6 gigahertz and some millimeter wave frequencies. 6G leaps into the terahertz spectrum, roughly 100 times faster than 5G. But those frequencies can't travel far. They get blocked by like cement walls and trees. Even
Remember the lead
humidity
paint?
blocks it. Good luck,
Yeah.
Florida.
Lead paint.
So how do you actually
blocks it.
blanket an entire country or the entire planet
Copper
with
blocks.
something that barely
Copper
travels and
paint.
humidity gets in the way? Well, the answer is both ingenious and actually pretty terrifying. They're using reconfigurable intelligence surfaces. These are walls, windows, street signs, and everyday objects that are turned into active components of the network, capable of redirecting wireless signals like mirrors. In fact, one of the techs I spoke to about this said, just imagine walking down the street and every stop sign you see, every telephone pole you see, or every other metal pole you see right outside of your apartment would have one of these like 6G components on it. In other words, the environment becomes the network.
with massive antenna grids, thousands, even millions of synchronized micro antennas that can track and beam
They can
signals
already
directly
see through
to
your
you
walls.
with extreme precision. And 6G doesn't just broadcast; it actually targets. It actually shapes
If
like
these
a
are on
signal
every
around you.
freaking light pole,
And then, by the way, it follows you wherever you
Yeah.
go. It adjusts itself automatically based on your environment, your movement, and your behavior. This is why surveillance experts are sounding the alarm, as you can imagine. 6G isn't just about faster phones, it's about the creation of a constantly sensing, constantly tracking digital ecosystem. So more about this AI native part of it, because it's important. AI changes everything, and 6G will, number one, predict your movement, anticipate traffic flow, detect behavioral anomalies, like we've been covering this, right? Oh, this person's antisocial. This person doesn't leave their house on a regular basis. We should flag that. Maybe he's a terrorist. It'll also enforce automated restrictions. It'll also integrate with that digital ID system, of course, and it'll make split-second decisions without any human oversight. So this becomes the nervous system of like a hyper-connected society. Every camera, every sensor, every vehicle, every appliance in your home, every wearable, like every medical device, all feeding data into a single unified intelligent network.
people already
So
have all these
6G
smart
isn't just
devices.
faster, it's aware
The
of
smart
everything that
speakers,
you're
the
doing.
smart lights, the smart
That
refrigerator,
raises some serious
smart
concerns.
thermostat,
So when will 6G
smart
actually
TVs.
arrive? Right now, 6G is in research and development. Tests began back in 2020.
How many people have a smart
Prototypes are already being
dishwasher?
deployed worldwide.
You know?
Most experts predict, though, a full commercial launch by the year 2030. So just 5 years away. But here's the truth. You're already being exposed to early versions of this technology. And the dangers aren't hypothetical. They're actually happening right now. Let's look at 3 of the biggest risks according to early data. Take a look at this. We kind of broke this down in this piece. Number 1, data privacy basically collapses. So 6G will connect billions more devices than 5G ever could. That means your location, your biometrics, your shopping habits, your health data, your household devices, your movement patterns, all of it being tracked in real time and all analyzed by AI, and then all stored somewhere that you'll never see. It's like surveillance capitalism on steroids. So when you see this new network you're opting into, it's zero privacy. Number 2, nation-state cyber warfare. With 6G, cyber warfare shifts from hacking computers to disabling entire societies. Think about it. Hospitals, power grids, financial systems, transportation networks,
Y'all
military
remember-
operations.
I think it was about
Everything
a year
becomes a
ago,
target.
wasn't it? Whenever
And then with those terahertz
all the
speeds,
airports, the
attacks happen
banks, and
faster than
everything all
humans
got
can
shut
even
down,
respond to.
hacked all at one time. They were like,
Number
oh, it
3,
was
government
nothing.
abuse, because the government never abuses us, right? But this is all going to be part of it. This is the most predictable threat of all, of course. With 6G, governments could have real-time citizen tracking, which is what they want. They want behavioral mapping, which is what they're rolling out right now in Gaza, as we covered here on the show with Palantir. They have automated law enforcement, pre-crime detection, like, oh, Clayton hasn't left the house in a few days. Maybe he's plotting a terrorist act or something. Credit score? You know, you've traveled too much and your carbon footprint is too much, so we don't think you should be allowed to buy gasoline for the next month because you traveled too much to see grandma.
They already had that social credit score thing in
Also
China.
have a seamless digital ID enforcement, all of it.
Gary, how'd you?
Next level.
It's already 6G already rolled out over there. They're already in the middle of it,
Look at this
doing
new
it.
article
But
from CNET just
there
published.
is no freedom.
Experts warn that 6G
You're
will blur
observed
the
at
line
all
between
hours,
private life
day and night.
public monitoring. So every device, every room, every street, every building, all part of like one enormous sensing network that never turns off. This isn't just connectivity, it's environmental surveillance. I guess we all need to move to like Montana or the woods of Wyoming at this point. Because once the system is deployed, there's no opting out. Like, even if you don't have a 6G phone, it doesn't matter. You'll be
'Cause it's
walking
everywhere.
right through this network every day. Again, unless you live, I guess, in remote Alaska or Wyoming, where they don't even have cell phone service. Now, here's where it gets even more suspicious, though, because the World Health Organization has not updated its position since 2011, before 5G even
The
existed,
World Health
let alone
Organization
6G.
is
They
evil.
claimed back then that there was no health risk. And they've simply refused to revisit that conclusion at all. That's because the WHO is wildly corrupt, of course. I spoke to a doctor from the WHO who told me, don't believe anything they say. He worked for the WHO. Meanwhile, independent scientists, medical researchers, epidemiologists, environmental health experts all continue to raise red flags about the constant exposure to these high frequency fields. But instead of studying it, governments are pushing 6G at full speed ahead. Why? We're going to dig into that with our next guest, who's been warning about these health consequences for years and has been studying this for years. Kim Bright is the founder of Brightcore, and she is back on the show. Kim, welcome to the show. Great to see you.
Well, great to see you too. And what a subject, Tom. This is a terrifying subject where every move is going to be monitored, documented, and analyzed. And it's not just what we're doing, Clayton, but what the system thinks that we're likely to do next. This is something incredibly sci-fi.
Let's talk about the human body. And this is one of your areas of expertise, of course, but you have all these scientists warning about 5G, and they just got totally ignored about it. I mean, I have people in our comments on a regular basis who talk about like how they just can't be near certain towers. It really affects them. They've asked us repeatedly, hey, can you guys do more stories on 5G and this technology? I mean, this now, what it does to the human body, maybe you can kind of break that down for us.
Well, we went from, the hertz is a measurement of frequency, and 1 hertz is, in 1 second, that's the amount of frequency. We're all the way up with 5 and 6G. We're going into almost gamma rays. We're up into terahertz, which are trillions of frequencies per second. The human body can't handle that. And it's just not, it's not built that way. I mean, but here's what they're doing now. They've designed these antennas, not only what you mentioned at the outside, but they've designed different antennas to be fitted onto the human body. You've got your rings now. Everybody's like, oh, they think it's so cool to get one of these rings or bracelets or watches. That's just to name a few of what they're making people think is so cool to have. And people that are wearing these things, Clayton, they've already had so many negative experiences with them. I mean, people are having severe allergic reactions, headaches, fatigue. So these people that are creating this know that it's dangerous. And of course, the WHO, they established a project back in 1996 called the EMF Project, Electromagnetic Field Project, to assess the scientific evidence regarding possible health effects on EMF exposure. Well, they've reviewed approximately, they say, 25,000 articles over the past 30 years. Of course, we have no idea who wrote these articles or what their viewpoints are or anything, but they're saying that's what they've done. And the WHO, from looking at all this, has concluded that the current evidence does not confirm the existence of any health consequences from exposure to low-level electromagnetic fields. Now, what we're talking about here in terahertz is not low level. So this is just craziness. And then we've got
what's low level? Low
level, what your radio waves were like 30,000 hertz. We're talking about in terahertz, 1 billion hertz per second, not 30,000. We're talking magnitudes of order here. Now, they've got what's called an IARC classification. That's the International Agency for Research on Cancer. And that's a specialized agency of the WHO, World Health Organization, and they're classifying radio frequency EMFs from mobile phones, Wi-Fi's, on and on. And as they're saying, they're possibly carcinogenic to humans. That's back in 2011, as you mentioned. Now, this was supposedly based on an observed increased risk for a specific type of brain cancer. And it was among the heaviest mobile phone users in some, but not all studies. And it indicated that a causal link, again, these words just blow me away, causal or causal link, it is considered possible, but the evidence is limited and not conclusive. So So the known health effects that they're saying, the only consistent acknowledged health effect from EMFs that they're actually putting out there is that it heats body tissues at very high exposure levels. And they're using that as the basis for current exposure limits.
So it heats by body levels. I mean, it's ridiculous. And you can't escape it. Right. I kind of joked about moving to Wyoming and Alaska in the intro here, but I mean, if you can't escape it, what are you to do about it? I've heard, stories from people who like petition the government. I mean, they can't sleep at night. They've had all sorts of issues where they have massive anxiety that it's hit. I've had friends who've tried to wear an Apple Watch and their whole arm turned red and he couldn't wear it. His whole arm became inflamed. He's like, I can't wear this thing. And I was like, what? And he literally, his whole arm turned red and got rashes from wearing it.
Well, with 5G, that's just using 5G now, but the primary established effect of that intense RF energy, it heats the tissues. So that's evidence right there. If it got all red, it's heating the tissues. It's literally dehydrating us. But supposedly these international exposure limits are in place to prevent this from happening under normal
the watches,
usage.
the rings.
I mean, this is crazy the way they talk. And the problem with these established limits, Clayton, is it's not been studied with enough time of constant exposure to conclude that it's in fact unharmful. I mean, they're using mice and exposing them for a day or a week. We need to look at what in the world are they doing? What is this doing over a period of months and years? And they just haven't done it. And again, the WHO hasn't changed their position on the safety of 5G since 2011. And they're even saying some studies suggesting harm have been criticized for poor methodology or a lack of independent replication or for using high exposure levels that don't represent real world public exposure. Well, excuse me, these studies that are looking at higher exposures are very valid. They just don't want you to know they are.
Right, because to me, exactly, they're valid. And to me, the WHO, they're just ignoring all of this, just in the way that they ignored mRNA vaccines and all of this, because there's enormous amounts of money at play here, right? And it's all about control. So they're not going to go up against the money and the governments that want this total control about movement and data, all of it around us, right?
That's right. They put these electromagnetic fields all around us, and they're going to continue to close us in with even more. I mean, they're ranging from non-ionizing, low-energy radiation fields, low doses, which are generally considered harmless, to these ionizing high-energy radiation fields, which definitely have the potential to cause cellular and DNA damage. In 2024, the CDC actually put out that it could cause that. So, hopefully RFK Jr. is going to put out even more data on this, but we'll see. But the increasing widespread use of these EMFs, it's raising important questions about the potential effects, again, to our long-term exposure. And let me give you an example, a great example of something very curious. In the UK, there was a report that came out, Clayton, and it showed that life expectancy is years shorter in the US compared to UK, and that the United States had 5G in every metropolitan area before the UK even had a single 5G tower. So here in the United States, we've had more overall exposure to 5G, and we've had higher frequencies. We have the highest frequencies in the world. Australia has the second. China has the least, believe it or not. And we've had these for longer periods of time than the UK. So I don't know if you realize this, but 5G was unable to penetrate the epidermis and fat layer, and it has to be absorbed through our sweat pores. But 6G, Clayton, is going to have high enough hertz, again, those terahertz, that it will completely penetrate our skin and our fat layers and go directly into our blood and veins.
Oh, good. That's great.
Isn't that great?
Well, and I think about this
penetrates directly through the fat layers into your blood and veins.
Plummeting of testosterone, whatever, and or sperm count, etc. in men. So I don't know if they found a direct link, but it's very, very curious that we've had it here in the United States, and we've seen this plummeting of life expectancy for the first time in decades. The United States has experienced it.
Yeah, well, it's all the combination of all the things that we've been talking about with all our different interviews. But here's the thing, these wavelengths, as they go up in hertz, they become more condensed. And you start out with the lower hertz ranges, and they're like waves on the ocean, right? And then as we go up into the gigahertz and the megahertz and then the tetrahertz, it's coming in to the point where it's like a laser beam.
That's
This
what's
is
terrifying.
how high intense the intensity is.
That's what's terrifying to me. I mean, we've seen militaries roll out laser beams now, like to try to take down drones and things like that. Now they're going to be using it just to carry cell signals around. This is unbelievable. 6G mobile phone technology could emit harmful laser-like beams to create the first ultra-fast mobile internet. Great. So what?
Oh, but don't worry, because experts are emphasizing the need for careful system design there, Clayton. They want to ensure these beams are not pointed directly at us for prolonged periods.
Right.
Because you know what? Clearly they're not safe, and they already know this. But they could definitely be turned to us, and they could zap us, I mean, come on. The method used to prove the safety of wireless devices for commercial use, they're assessing it by specific absorption rate. That's SAR levels. And that SAR measurement, it's a measure of electromagnetic energy that's absorbed by our flesh and converted to heat. And however, there's so many researchers that have recently pointed out that this measure ignores the innumerable non-thermal effects, rendering it a crude estimation of safety. And to add on to this too, Clayton, these laser beams aren't traveling as far as the distance, so there will be even more structures and stations, like you said earlier, popping up all around us, causing even more exposure. And if that level of tracking is not raising your eyebrow yet, I mean, here's a real question to ponder. What could living inside a nonstop sensing network mean for our own physical health? I mean, these
troubling
concerns.
from sleep. I mean, I know we're talking about sleep and anxiety, but why we've seen such a massive increase in things like Alzheimer's, or at least more awareness about it, new data showing that dropping or decreasing the age where people are getting Alzheimer's. Maybe this and tied to EMFs.
Well, yeah, and I mean, when you're going up to terahertz frequencies, that this is going to use the 6G, and they're actually studied for their potential to cause thermal effects, the tissue heating. I mean, you could have problems in your eyes. The areas with low blood flow, your genitals, all these places could be vulnerable. And basically, they're going to, heat us from the inside out. You're going to dehydrate people, turn into dust, for God's sake. But, the age of onset Alzheimer's has decreased over the past 20 years. So people are getting it earlier and earlier. And the timing is very interesting. It's corresponding to the large recent increases in wireless communication EMF exposures. And again, what else does it cause? DNA damage, breakage, increased oxidative stress, and cell death. Doesn't that sound like something everybody wants more of? I mean, I'm being facetious here, but this just, oh my gosh. And a recent study, you were talking about sperm count, or mentioning, reproductive. A recent study shows sperm count and testosterone levels are lower than ever. And probably it's not a coincidence, because this has been happening while we've been exposed to 5G more recently.
I wouldn't doubt it. Why people are having fewer and fewer babies. Women are like, why don't men, want to date women? It's like, well, maybe the plummeting testosterone levels, we're being hit from all sides. It's what they want. They want depopulation. It's part of the depopulation.
They want us all being they, thems.
Right, exactly. One other thing, of course, something close to your research over the years is what EMFs are doing as well, right? And this was shocking to me looking at this new research about the gut biome. Can you talk about this?
Yeah, there's mounting evidence that these EMF levels, thank goodness this is coming out, and that's the balance of good and bacteria that are affecting our microbiome and our immune systems. 80% of our immune systems in our microbiome. And then it increases our risk for chronic disease and dementia, heart disease, cancer. But the number one thing that we can do to keep that gut microbiome in
I can't hear
balance
you.
and not dysbiosis is to eat
Did you say something, Brandy?
Yeah, I said, it could be because of some of the autoimmune disorders that are going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's how many people do you meet?
Yeah. And how
Everybody,
hard it is to diagnose an autoimmune disorder. How many blood tests it takes to get a lupus diagnosis or a scleroderma diagnosis or a MS diagnosis for some people. It takes a long time for some people to even get a diagnosis of autoimmune, but not, like the doctor can see clearly that it's an autoimmune problem, but you can't pin it down. Is that why we can't pin it down? Because it's being activated through unseen forces?
And I'll tell you what, ever since I have MS, I regret telling doctors that I have it when they come in the room, because I don't care what is wrong with me. They don't check me out. They say it's probably your MS and they send me home. They don't test my blood. They don't, and most of the time they treat me horrible anyway. You don't go to the hospital unless you're dying, really. You know how it is. But, even, not being back home, I still don't like going because, it's, I don't know.
Jody just asked about here. She said, "Are there any stats on the increase in autoimmune disorders since COVID?" And yes, there are. More are starting to come out. But it's also a lot of it is getting linked to the vaccine as well. But if you remember, we did that show a few weeks ago where they showed what in these 5G towers they are emitting with the frequencies. They're spraying us with COVID-19.
I didn't take it.
And there is a U.S. patent on COVID-19. There is a U.S. patent on the flu. There is a U.S. patent on the Zika virus. There's a U.S. patent on what else was it, Brandy? The Spanish flu, I think it was.
Yeah.
I'll find the list and put it together. But I lost my train of thought. That poof. There it went.
Here.
Said and then it was something that they were calling long COVID whenever people were first arguing and saying, no, something is wrong and it's because of this. It's because of the COVID thing. It's because of the vaccine or something. It's got something to do with this. And all these symptoms. And it was a bunch of people whose autoimmune were getting triggered by either the virus itself or the shot or but the doctors weren't allowed to acknowledge that it was even a thing, that it was happening. So I saw they had to let a doctor out of jail the other day and dismiss the charges. They were trying to charge him with all these cases of attempted murder because he was given saline shots instead of the vaccine whenever it was mandated. And now that everything's coming out that the shots were the murder weapon, that they had to let him out and drop all those charges again.
Oh my gosh. What about all the nurses and all the people that lost their jobs? When they would tell them you either have to take the shot or you can't work here. That's what I didn't take it. I didn't take it. I wouldn't take it because it scared me because when it first came out, they said, if you have a disorder, do not take it. Don't take it. Don't take it. If you have any autoimmune disorder. Well, they turned around like 3 months later and said, you're the very people that need to take it. And it
Yeah.
kind of scared me. So I was like, no, I'm good. And, not a would take it.
Melody
Like,
said the patent was for AIDS, and that's the one I was trying to think of. That's the one that poofed out of my head. It was that's on that list too of things that are U.S. patented. It's a man-made created. They created these viruses in a lab and gave them to us on purpose. All of them.
Yeah.
All of them. All the way back to the Spanish flu, tuberculosis, all those things.
We're little test
They're not
experiments.
natural.
For little test experiments.
Yeah. Yeah, and now they're starting to show like the studies, the real studies like on these flu shots and other vaccines and stuff are starting to come out, and they have always caused more damage than they do good. Always.
Yeah. I don't know. See, I had my
virus in the vaccine, but that's not even the worst of it. It's all the heavy metals, the fucking aborted fetus tissue, and cow hearts, and pig eyeballs, and all these other things that they put in it too. Did you know that the word for sorcery, I think it's in Greek, is pharmacopoeia? Think about some witches brewing up potions. It's the pharmaceutical industry. It's sorcery. It's to keep you entrapped in the spell of a fucking course of being sick and paying them and slavery just to stay alive.
Yeah. Hadn't thought of it like that.
Yeah. Let's finish listening to this. We've only got about 6 more minutes of it.
Because it has the most diverse probiotic profile of 900 plus unique beneficial strains of bacteria, the good guys. And it can actually protect. Kimchi can actually protect. It's been proven to protect cells and DNA from damage because of the probiotics that reduce the oxidative stress. They improve the gut barrier integrity and calm inflammation. They have the antioxidants from the vegetables and the spices that are used in the kimchi, and they directly neutralize DNA damaging free radicals. And in the fermentation process, Clayton, there are metabolites that are formed from the fermentation that promote the DNA repair and detoxification from the bad guys, and anti-inflammatory actions that prevent chronic
I think that's why fire cider works so
energy.
good.
So kimchi is just, it's incredible.
And preventing cancer too. I mean, last night, I always hear your voice in my head. So last night we had steak, and I said, "Where's the kimchi?" So we got it out of the refrigerator, the big thing of it, whatever we get from Costco, and like piled it on there with our steak. And the kids are like, I don't know if I want kimchi because of the taste, but they're eating it now with their steak. So it's
that's good improvement. Good.
Yeah,
That's good.
And they know the benefits of it because we sing the praises of it all the time. But it also has cancer prevention,
sauerkraut
as well, right?
Well, there was a study that
kombucha
measured the potential of lactic acid bacteria that was found in kimchi to prevent cancer. Yes, you're right. Let me just quote directly from that study too. It says,
your guts the
quote,
key
the
to your
antibiotic
health.
tolerant probiotic presented in kimchi suppresses expression of carcinogen activating enzymes and possesses many other health benefits, such as suppression of growth and development of pathogenic bacteria, intestinal regulation, and immune boost, especially the W. cibaria and L. plantarum found in kimchi have many effects like anti-inflammatory, immune modulating, and blood cholesterol reducing activity, which may account for their cancer preventative anti-cancer potential, unquote.
Which is crazy to think. It can also, it can help us repair everything that's going on with EMFs and 5G and 6G technology, but also do all of that on cancer. It's like a miracle food, right?
Oh yeah, and another great thing has recently come out about kimchi is its heart benefits, its heart health benefits. They've shown in studies daily consumption, again, daily consumption of kimchi was shown to reduce blood glucose, triglycerides, blood pressure, and help our immune system. And again, 70 to 80% of our immune system is living in our gut. And so kimchi replenishes that good bacteria. It crowds out the harmful microbes and produces those compounds that modulate the immune responses, and that helps the body naturally defend itself. And there was another thing too, on top of all of this, if you can believe it, there was a hair study, inner health versus outer health. All the participants in this hair study consumed kimchi daily for 4 months, and over 96% of them saw increased hair count and shaft thickness. So we're going to need this when they up us to the gamma ray levels where we have no hair anymore. So you got to eat your kimchi.
How many people with autoimmune disorders have their hair fall out?
It was thinning. It was starting to thin. I started
Won't cut mine.
Mine was
I
bad.
don't know. Who knows?
I was thinking about all
Your
the
health on the
pictures
inside's reflected on your outside,
that I
that's
have
for
of
sure.
when I was
Yeah.
sick. I think I'm gonna put
Another
something
thing, I guess,
together
before
of
we
the
get you out of
difference
here is also on
and how my body
fat,
looks.
which if people are like taking these big garbage right now, maybe they actually
Horrible.
Yeah, and my
I saw this
hairline
study
was
where
back
they
to
ask you
here.
about it,
I had
the
big
body
bald
fat
spots.
reduction too from kimchi.
It was so thin.
Yeah, that reduced the body fat by 31.8% when they eat kimchi every day. So there's so many health benefits. Why turn to the same old thing people have been turning to, the pharmaceutical companies, to reduce your weight and everything, when all you've got to do is eat some kimchi? But there's so many health benefits, and what we wanted to do is make it easy for people to consume daily, which is why we created Kimchi One. And though the kimchi is in convenient capsules for daily use, you don't have to deal with an odor or a taste that you might not like. It's low in sodium, unlike when you buy it at the store. It's high in sodium, so if that's important to you, that's part of it. And it's 100% made in the USA, and all natural and non-GMO. And there's so many success stories. You've seen all of the references that we've done now and all of the things that it can help address. But we have people constantly calling in that are using it, that have had problems with their digestion, their regularity, their immune system, where they used to get sick all the time. They're not getting sick as much or not at all. And people who have diabetes, Clayton, they couldn't control their blood sugar levels. Now they're controlling those blood sugar levels. And other symptoms people were suffering from and they couldn't identify the cause of them are finally feeling better. They have more energy. They don't have that chronic fatigue.
Well, where can people get it? Because I know you guys have put something special together for our audience.
Yeah, well, if you go to mybrightcore.com/redacted, you can get 25% off your order of Kimchi One using that code redacted. Call in for up to 50% off and free shipping. Call 888-404-6312. And the first 100 callers, we're going to give them a free bottle of Fortify with their order. Now, Fortify,
I'm going to put that. I'll put that link.
9 essential amino acids. They're going to protect you against cellular damage. And as we age, we lose muscle mass. It helps you to retain that muscle mass. It's going to boost hormone production and support brain chemistry. And Clayton, we're normally not giving such an expensive product as a free gift, but we want to support the people during the holiday season. So call us at 888-404-6312.
Wonderful. You think about I don't know if you ever saw Better Call Saul and his brother, he covers his whole house in aluminum foil to protect himself.
Yes.
No lights turning on, no EMFs, cell phones, and it's is that what we're going to be stuck with, or are there going to be these natural ways to fix this? Because there's really no escaping this, and so to be able to have natural things that are found in nature that we can take every day to kind of protect us. Maybe the only way. Otherwise, we're going to live like Better Call Saul.
Yeah, and you've got to be more disciplined. You've got to do things that you normally might not have ever done before. I think all of us ought to just tell everybody, listen, no more computers. We're going to throw these 5G and 6G phones away. Let's just go back and live on farms and make life simple. How many people are actually going to do that?
I don't know. maybe in the next 20, 30 years, there's going to be a big movement towards that. There'll be like a cell phone free zone, you know.
There are a couple of cell phone free zones in America. The one is in West Virginia, where they listen for like radio signals and stuff from space. They monitor like the stratosphere or what, I don't know what they do. But you're not allowed to have like certain kinds of Wi-Fi or phones.
What we did
There's no towers. There is no cell phone towers. Everybody has a landline.
Like when I was a kid, right? When I was a kid, everybody had a landline. So what if everybody went back to having a landline again? Could they still monitor us with the 6G? You know, I'm
yes, if it's they can see through your walls. It doesn't even matter if you have no Wi-Fi or anything in your home. They can see that through if not protected.
okay, like it's super creepy.
Yeah.
Really. Because
People are like making clothes and stuff that's made out of silver and like Faraday clothing, but it's super expensive. It's really expensive, but you can get just like a beanie that's made out of it. You can get them on Amazon. Probably make it yourself if you just line it. Talk about a tinfoil hat. Like line it with copper and yeah. But that was the whole thing about banning lead paint, was to strip that from our walls. It's not because it makes you sick. It makes you sick when you drink it. Yeah, you ingest it. But when it's painted on your house, it keeps their technology from being able to see through your walls.
so wild. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot to think about.
Yeah, they tap at the poles for the landlines, he said.
Huh?
He said they tap at the poles for the landlines.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
They're all tappable. Somebody's always listening regardless. Your smart TV, it can record your laptop and your phone, all can record and take pictures, even if it's turned off. Even if it's turned off, it can still record. They can record you through your own cameras. Through your smart TV.
I think us hillbillies have had enough training, you know, through our time where, you know, we can pick up a phone and call each other and say something and, you know, use code the whole time. You know, we have our own code, you know.
Yeah.
No.
But this shit penetrates right into your brain. It follows, it monitors and tracks everything you do. Everything you do online, every post you look at, every meme you react to, how you react to it. Does it, and it also takes pictures of your face. Like when you're watching these things on social media, it's also monitoring how it's affecting you. It's monitoring your facial movements and the way you react whenever you're presented with these things. And that's already in action. That's already happening. Anybody ever had a weird fucking thought and then pick up their phone and it shows you 15 ads for this strange product that you've never thought of before? Or like whatever, you know what I mean? Like it's already reading your mind and anticipating your next move and trying to guide you in the direction it wants you to. So, yeah. Well, just imagine whenever we don't have what few boundaries we have now. Okay. Well, I've got some more research to do. I want to look into these microchips that Eli mentioned for dental implants. And that struck me, Eli, because back in the day, whenever everybody was on meth around here, like when it was first starting to get real popular and stuff, so many people caught the same deer and thought that they had a microchip in their tooth, a radio in their tooth that was monitoring them. And people were like yanking their own teeth out and stuff because they believed with their whole heart that there was something in their tooth. So that's crazy that you said that. I want to look into that deeper.
Because I mean, seriously, there was so
A
many
lot of
people.
the shit that people thought were crazy just because they were methed out or tweaking or whatever is actually coming true. Like, it's actually real.
And you would think, you know, but now it's
It just opened them up where they were able to perceive it, I guess, before everybody else. I don't know, because this technology's been around for a long time. For a long time.
yeah.
It's crazy. Okay.
I think too, a lot of, I mean, I don't know, there's so much environmental issues going on with water and this and that and everything else. It's like, what's going to get us first? You know what I mean? Like, are we going to eat the stuff that's going to eventually, you know, kill us or whatever, you know, or
Slow death, but it's not just that. What's in those foods, the metals, the cadmium, all these things work with these towers.
yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Part of the system.
Like, what's going to zap you first? You know,
Yeah.
if there's no avoiding it, you know, then what, you know,
Right.
it's kind of scary thought. You know, what do they do with somebody like, you know, that's older like me, you know, that's not, you know, really, you know, is it like, oh, well, somebody like her, don't worry about them, you know, kind of scary
Listen,
thought.
that wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility for me to put my head around it. Like, the shit that I've figured out, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, they do have programming. Like, you hear about people talk about having a handler and stuff, like a lot of people who have been through MK Ultra and just various things, you know, like that their partner feels like a handler. They've had certain people that just acted like that was their job or something. And I was watching something the other day. It was Statements by Alex, and she was saying how like sometimes the person might not even know that they are a handler because their brain is being hit with these EMF waves and these things that's making them react in this way and making them act in a certain way. It's not really that person who is like working for the government or something. No, the government is using MK Ultra on them to do these things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, look for bioengineered ingredients. Soy makes you sterile. For women, it's a birth control.
Ty's been, you know, telling me all these things, and then I'll start looking them up, and it's like, my mom
is a new word for GMO. So they can put non-GMO on something, but it's still GMO if it says bioengineered. That's a loophole. That can include 3D printed meat. That can include any fucking thing that you could imagine. Genetically modified. That's what's scary to me, the genetically modified shit. I do not want no. Get away from my genes. Get away from my food's genes. Leave us alone.
It's like I said, there's so many right now in the world, there's so many things going on around us that is designed to, you know, take us out one way or another. Does that make sense? Or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, you can't eat.
It is. I found the Bill Gates. It was like a TED Talk that he had done, and it was really hard to find it. It was hard to dig it out because it's been removed from almost everything. But I think it's about to flood back out there, though, because whenever I did finally track it down, I found a few different creators that had it. But he's talking about the depopulation agenda. His goals are to depopulate the world. That's what he is doing. And he's using the technology and the food and all these things to do so with the help of Palantir and BlackRock.
Yeah. Yeah. And you look into them and it's to those families.
Yeah.
So. So I don't know. It's kind of makes you think, and that really does, you know, Ty. It does.
Mm-hmm.
especially
Jason's behind every fucking thing. He is. He's behind every fucking thing. He's got his hand in every aspect of it. Somewhere you'll find his name. He pops up in the deep research every time.
yeah,
Every time it's something to harm that's involving genocide, that's involving mass poisoning, it's Bill Gates. It comes back to him every time. It's not just him. I mean, there's a lot more with him, but he is definitely leading the fucking operation.
him and his wife both are very, very, against, you know what I'm saying.
Humans.
Yeah,
They're trying to bring in the transhumanism movement.
yeah.
Oh, all this rumbling under the ground. Anybody else notice that? We're out there where you're at, Teresa. Have you all heard any like rumbling or shaking or anything? Not from the earthquake today necessarily, but over the last couple of weeks, we've been getting reports from one end of the county all the way through to 2 or 3 counties over, people talking about loud sounds coming up from under the ground and like houses shaking and stuff. Like it keeps happening here.
Yeah.
Whenever I don't latch my screen door all the way, like it'll rumble. The whole mountainside will rumble, and my door, it rattles the glass in it. And it would like shudder through the house. It's so fucking weird.
Yeah.
And, let me see if I can pull it up here.
Yeah.
A friend of mine sent me
Yeah, that was a
little
decent
video
quake,
of what happened outside of his house. Okay. Shoot. This one, I think. Hold on. Close that one. Share screen.
I'm not a whole lot of help.
What's the sound? Hang on.
Yeah.
There you
Listen to this.
You hear it?
Something under the ground, and it sounds like it's about to bust out. Holy crap.
They're digging. They're tunneling under our mountain.
It's over here in the
Why? Who's doing it?
field.
Why do
I don't know where
they
this
need
one
to
was
do?
at.
You know what I mean? Like what's coming and why do they need to do that? Yeah.
And I wonder if that triggered that earthquake, or if they're blaming that earthquake on whatever they're doing down there, whatever they're digging.
It's possible. I mean,
But you were telling me something about minerals.
minerals.
Why could they possibly be? Why would they be digging up under our mountains? Wasn't that you that said that?
Yeah, I mean, there's still minerals and things in the mountains here, at home, that they can still use, and if it'd be easy to take the whole town out, you know what I mean?
Be easier to tunnel underneath them and get it without nobody even knowing.
Back in the 70s, the 80s, listen, I'm going to tell my age here, but I was a little girl when it was the 70s or 80s, somewhere in there. And I remember people were like having trouble with these coal companies because they would let them mine their land, but they wouldn't sell the mineral rights to them. And so, it was always a specific thing about mineral rights. Don't ever sell your mineral rights because, the company would have to pay you royalty or pay you whatever. I think that's how it worked. I think, like I said, I was a little kid, but anyway, but I remember, when that happened, and you put me back on my train of thought. My brain.
We were talking about how they would buy the mineral rights, but not the land. Like you would be able to keep your land, sell the mineral rights to the companies, and get a check every month or every quarter or something to pay you for the minerals they extract. But
think about it. After the flood, people just wanted a roof over their head. Listen, I was one of them. My place, they rescued us. We got out with the clothes on our back. That was it. And, I understood, but I was renting, so it wasn't, but there's a lot of people that lost every single thing. So, if FEMA comes in or something, comes in and says, hey, I'll give you X amount of dollars. And we're talking, money that most of us have never seen in our life before. We've never seen that much money, at one time. And so, I think a lot of people sold their property, and got out. And, I don't know, it's just very shady.
It is a land grab. Just like Melody was just saying, just in North Carolina, where they had big deposits of lithium.
Yeah. See, there's still stuff in our mountains. You got to think. I mean,
yeah, it's not just the coal here. We've got a lot of natural gas, so many resources. But that leads us back into the water. Like, okay, you get a check, you get to earn all this, this money for the rest of your life. Your children get to earn money for the rest of their life. Your natural gas, right? You allow them to come on your property and do it, or to harvest a few trees, or to, mine out your coal.
Yeah.
But then what? What happens whenever the runoff from these operations destroy the water table?
They
what
don't
happens
care.
whenever the mountaintop slides off and washes your house off the mountain?
They don't care.
They don't care.
They don't care.
A few people might get some kind of settlement, but you are sick with all these toxic chemicals, and so are your children and your children's children, your children's children's children. So your land is worthless if you want to thrive and survive.
Yeah. Because, I mean,
the rate of the land. Yeah. Talk about us.
Not one bit. Mm-mm. And I said I've lived around coal mines. Yeah, I literally grew up right in the middle of a coal mine. Poly Mines, where I'm talking about. I literally had a whole coal company built right around our house. So you talk about, like I said, out of 4 of us has had cancer. Dad, we about lost pancreatic cancer.
Yeah.
And then, I had it several.
The Scott County 15, do you think it's more the water, or do you think it's the heat and stuff that's affecting everybody? Because aren't they saying the babies are being reported now with autoimmune diseases and stuff too?
They said they had odd things showing up with, babies and stuff. And I don't know. Is it something in the air? I mean, is it the water?
What they're
Is it?
spraying in the air, they put it in the water. What they spray in the air lands in the water. It lands on the plants and the dirt that grows our vegetables.
So, but that's a lot of
Animals
kids.
we eat.
They said they've had 5 kids in 5 weeks. So that's a kid per week. And that's crazy.
Where is that town where there was, let me look it up. 5G causes cancer at a school. They put up a 5G tower.
Well, look where the one in
It's
think about that. Think about where the one in Whitesburg's at.
yeah.
I'll be right back. Go ahead, Ty.
That's the
I'll be
hill,
right.
ain't it?
It's right there by the school.
So the cell phone use and the risk of head and neck tumors is what this one study was done on. It was conducted by a consortium of researchers from 13 countries. And the data came from questionnaires that were completed by study participants in Europe, Israel, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and Japan. Let me click on this. Well, this is about the phones themselves. The lower G frequencies, 2G, 3G, and 4G. That's not what I'm looking for. But they made them take it down, finally. A Missouri school, that's where it was at. Here we go, found it. Missouri school faces cancer inquiry as parents question health risks from cell towers. So they had a cancer cluster after several teachers and former students at the school, which is located next to a cell tower, were diagnosed with cancer. 6 Warren Hills Elementary teachers have been diagnosed with breast cancer since 2020, prompting new growing concern among parents, teachers, and health advocates. There are anecdotal reports that former students have developed other cancers. The school sits just 130 feet from a 120-foot cellular tower, leading some experts and families to question whether wireless radiation or other environmental factors could be contributing to the illnesses. Missouri's Cancer Inquiry Committee will review data later this month to determine whether cancer cases are scored statistically abnormal. What do you mean to see whether they're abnormal? And does it merit a full investigation? How is 6 teachers and multiple students normal? How is that not abnormal? What does it mean if it seems abnormal? What is wrong with these people?
I know.
They're part of
There's no accountability. There's no accountability. Back.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me read this again. Multiple Kentucky news. Oh, that was the Clay County disaster. Coal industry pollution, illegal dumping spots across Appalachia, toxic waste disposal. Yeah. You can go up to like these old sludge ponds and stuff and like see the toxic sludge. It like it's still sitting up there in places that have been closed for a long time.
Strip mines. Everywhere.
Right? Yeah, we're going to dig in on the fluoride too, Miss Melody. A 2025 study from India found that people living within about 50 meters of mobile phone-based stations, including 5G small cells, reported more health issues.
That is
Yeah. This computer is probably going to affect my signal for a second, so if I disappear, y'all know what happened. Just a slight buzz. I don't think it's going to take me off screen this time. Okay. What time is it? 7:30? All right. We better get off here so we can go and smoke and stuff and get ready to do defense rest.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. Let's close this one up. Y'all, this one's been a good one, I thought. I learned a lot. I hope you all did too.
It was
I
fun.
hope I didn't hurt you too much. It's okay. We can do something. I don't know what we're going to do yet. We're going to figure something out to protect ourselves.
We'll figure it out.
Right. God's got this. It's okay. All right.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good evening. I'll see you all. We'll see you again here in a minute. If you want to join us, we'll be over on the defense rest here this evening. 8 o'clock. Is it? 8 o'clock. All right.
8 o'clock.
Bye, guys.